Welcome to the Growth Mode podcast, where real conversations fuel real business growth. Hosted by Nina Labbe, media strategist with Salem Surround. Get ready to listen, learn, and grow. This is Growth Mode.
Wondered what it takes to run a specialty hospital that not only delivers world-class surgical care, but also puts patients at the very center of everything? On today's episode of Growth Mode, we're pulling back the curtain on what it means to lead and grow in healthcare. I'm Nina Labbe, your host, and today I'm honored to welcome Angie Kauffman, CEO of South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. Angie, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you inviting me here to talk about our hospital and all the great things that we do.
Yes, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you again. And of course, we'll be talking about challenges and opportunities in healthcare, the strategies behind growing a specialty hospital, and how her team is setting new standards in patient care. I know our listeners are eager to hear your story, so let's go ahead and start from the beginning. What inspired you to lead South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, and what continues to motivate you each and every day?
Well, absolutely. Thank you, Nina. So really what inspired me first off to become a nurse in healthcare, my mom was a nurse. She was an LVN, and she had me volunteer with her when I was 15. And then that absolutely inspired my love of healthcare and wanting to take care of people and really do good. And so throughout the years, I had great mentors who helped guide me in my career. And I just continued to get advanced degrees. And, you know, I've literally started from ENT scrub in the OR.
Wow.
I worked my way up to an OR director. From there, I became a chief nursing officer. And then from there, I fell in love with relationship building. I love the relationship side of healthcare. And I feel like that is what really inspired me to become a CEO. And then when the opportunity came for South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, I jumped on it. When I looked into them, of course, you do your research, right? They were outstanding. They had high quality, high patient satisfaction. It's physician owned. And I just kind of knew that I could come in there and just elevate what they already had.
Yes, I love that. I love it. And, you know, as a physician-owned hospital, what sets South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital apart from other healthcare institutions in the region?
You know, I really think several things, right? But you mentioned physician-owned hospital, right? And there's a difference. You know, we're a little different than some of these big, larger corporations where it's kind of top-down driven, right? The top tells, you know, the lower levels what they need to do, you know, the financial, the quality, all of that. A physician-owned hospital, really, you sit at the table with the physicians who are owners, right? They have a stake, an ownership in the hospital and making sure that their patients have the best experiences, right? So they are literally at the table with us all the time, strategizing, what are our next steps? And they really help set the culture of the facility, right? They make it a very family environment. Our team feels very comfortable with our doctors. Our doctors feel very comfortable with our team. And it's just a great group of surgeons to work with. And so, again, it's about sitting at the table and just sharing ideas and collaborating and strategizing.
And, you know, and they've got their finger on the pulse. You know, so it just makes perfect sense, you know, to have a physician-owned hospital. So can you share a moment or a story that really embodies the hospital's mission of patient-centered care?
Oh, absolutely. So, you know, I have several stories to share, but one of them is we honor the DAISY Award. This is an award that is given to nurses who really go above and beyond. And our most recent DAISY Award winner, the patient was upset. Her family had just left. She was really upset and sad that her family left. And the nurse took the time to sit down, hold her hand, and just really listen to her and comfort her, right? He was busy.
Yeah.
I mean, we're high volume, busy all the time.
Yeah.
But he took that opportunity to really just sit and comfort her and listen to her. And she said that spoke volumes to her about the care and compassion that, our employees bring.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a family that was visiting her.
And they had to leave.
They had to leave.
Yeah,
well,
she was
they
all
got
by
to leave at
herself.
some point.
Right. Well, and, that we actually allow our family members to stay, but for whatever circumstances this time, she was alone. Mm-hmm. And then more recently, too, we had a patient who was in the hospital and it was his birthday. Yeah. And so we actually threw him a birthday party. I went and got him balloons and a gift card, and we just kind of had a celebration.
Oh, that is so sweet. And something you don't even have to do.
Right. No. And again, I think that's what kind of sets us apart. I always call our facility more of a boutique concierge type hospital, right? We're not big box. We're not black and white. We really try to make the patient and their families the center of every single thing we do.
I love that. Makes the the patient feel special. So now that we've learned about your inspiration and the mission that drives South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, I'd love to shift into your growth journey, because every hospital that continues to thrive has to think strategically about, what's next. And as you know, healthcare is always evolving.
Absolutely.
What's been your growth strategy in navigating changes while still keeping quality care at the forefront?
Sure. So again, I really truly think it starts with the culture of the facility, right? Yeah. When you have a culture where it's a patient-centered mindset from the beginning, everything else just kind of falls into the place, right? Yeah. You're not focused on the finances. You're not focused on the outside noise. You're really focused on the task at hand and the mission, right? And that's taking care of that patient. Yeah. And so we don't just look at the next 6 months, 12 months. We actually look at the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? And more recently, 2 weeks ago, we had a strategy meeting. And again, all of our physician partners sat down at the table and we just talked like, what does this look like, right? We can't stay status quo. We have to continuously evolve and change with the healthcare market. Sure. What are your ideas? And I always say this to my doctors, to my employees, to everyone. Yeah. Think outside the box. Think big, right? Yes. Don't just put us in a little box and take risks. Let's take risks, because you have to do that in healthcare. And then guess what? If something doesn't work out, we'll pivot. We'll come back and we'll evaluate and we'll look and do something differently. And just because we tried it maybe 3 years ago doesn't mean we can't try it again.
That's right.
So really it's pushing them to think outside of what, this straight, narrow path is.
Right. Yeah, I love that, because not everything, not every new thing is a failure.
That's
even if it doesn't quite work out the way you planned, okay, that's a moment to learn and then pivot. Like
that's
you
right.
Said.
Exactly. So, exactly. And really, truly, it's growth too. You look at some of the other hospitals, unfortunately, that are shutting their doors, and that's scary. And so we obviously do not want to be one of those hospitals. Right. And so really that growth mindset and how can we continue to serve our patients better? Yeah. I mean, that's again, the forefront of everything we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, speaking of growth, where do you see the hospital in the next 5 to 10 years, in terms of growth and impact?
Well, I will say we are busting at the seams already, right? And so for us to be able to continue to serve our community, we're going to have to look at different things. We might have to look at different we have to look at the market and maybe look to acquire an ASC and move some of our outpatient services over to an ASC. We may need to, expand into different service lines that we currently don't have. Okay. Again, being the top in our market, I want everyone to know that. And I always encourage people to go out and do some research, right? But look at us. We have the highest quality, the highest patient satisfaction, and the highest patient safety in all of San Antonio out of all the hospitals, right? Yeah. And so how can we take that and do more? And so really, truly, it's just growth and how we can continue to serve the community.
Yeah, and that's quite the recognition. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, again, it's not me. It's every single person at the hospital from the time you walk in the door until the time you leave that makes that happen.
I love that. So what role does innovation play? I know you were talking about thinking outside the box, but what role does innovation play in helping you maintain that competitive edge? If you could elaborate a little bit more.
Sure, absolutely. So, the big kind of buzzwords right now is like robotics, right? But it's not just a buzzword. It really, truly, from the technical aspect, can get precise with some of the surgical conditions that people have. And so I really think just analyzing and investing in some of those robotics. The Mako machine really is for joints. We have a stealth navigation machine for our spine. And then whatever else comes about, right? Because usually 3-4 years, you have something brand new.
Sure.
And so just making sure that we're constantly looking to see what's best for our patients.
Right.
What's more efficient for our patients and how their outcomes are going to be helped because of this technology.
Right.
And then also, AI, I really truly think AI is really going to come in to healthcare and kind of change everything.
Yes.
I always kind of feel healthcare lags behind, right? When it comes to technology. Healthcare in general is one of those things that takes a while to catch up. And so I feel if healthcare could try to do it a lot quicker, we can do a lot better with taking care of patients in our communities.
Yeah, and you're talking about the technologies.
Technologies, absolutely. AI can be used for many, many different things. Not even on the surgical side, but let's just say on the business side, right? We want to make sure that we are coding our cases correctly. We want to make sure we're billing correctly. We want to make sure we're getting paid correctly, right? And so AI can play a role in that.
Yeah, and I love it for researching.
Yes,
it
absolutely.
Makes my researching so much faster and quicker. It's been a game changer.
It really has. It really has, and I think it's only going to get better.
I believe that too. So let's talk marketing and outreach. We know that, they're important parts of growth today. So what types of marketing or community outreach have been most effective for you in raising awareness and building trust?
So this is kind of a little running joke I always have. I always say we're this hidden gem that no one knows about, right? And so when I first came to South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital, we had, a group that really didn't market. It's kind of the older school mentality of I just tell my patients where to go and that's where they go, right? And as we know, it has changed and evolved so much. So we really had to invest in marketing who we are, right? I'm biased, but we're amazing. I mean, our outcomes show it. Our accolades show it. And so how do we get patients to know that? And so we really started just doing some community efforts. We did a lot of social media marketing. I really like to go out in the community and market. We try to sponsor a lot of things. We try to do the health fairs. We do annual blood drives. We partnered with the San Antonio Gunslingers last year. And so just things like that. And then personally, I just joined the board of the Wonder Theater. They've been, a San Antonio theater production company for a long time now. And so being able personally to go out and serve the community, right, has been really pivotal in getting people to understand and know who we are.
Right. Yeah. And that's great. Being a part of the community, I think, really helps. And, I always tell other business leaders, when they have these accolades and these awards and recognitions, you got to brag about it.
You do, right? We have advertisements on our building. We have ads in Texas Monthly. I mean, we really do try to show people who we are and what we are.
Yes. And that's so good.
I wish I had a sign every day, just waving. Come on in.
Yeah. Because why not? Brag about it. I mean, this is a great recognition. So,
absolutely. I'm super proud of the team and the physicians. So just being able for our community to know where we're at and who we are. They have choices.
And speaking of the physicians, as a physician-owned hospital, how does that ownership model impact your ability to grow, innovate, and serve patients, differently?
Sure. So, again, it starts with the team, the employees. So first off, we are choosy and picky about who we bring into our hospital, right? We don't just credential any physician. We truly make sure that they also have high outcomes, high patient satisfaction ratings. And so really we're focused on bringing in the right doctors to complement our already great program that we have. And then it's the employees, right? We have tenured employees. We have employees who are experts at what they do. We're going on, we're getting close to our 25-year anniversary. And for a physician-owned hospital, that's kind of unheard of. But we've had employees who have been here from the get-go.
Wow.
And so again, they eat and sleep, ortho, spine. We just started a cardiac program. We made sure we hired cardiac nurses. Again, people who are specialized in the care that we're delivering.
And who are passionate about it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I love that. So you've shared some great insight on how you approach growth and strategy. Let's dive a little deeper into innovation and community impact, because those are areas where South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital really stands out. And I've read about your Joint Navigator program.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, which supports patients through their entire surgical journey. Can you share how this works and what kind of feedback you've received from patients?
Absolutely. So we have what we call our Joint Navigators, like you mentioned. And really that is one person that the patient establishes a relationship with before they even walk into our hospital. The navigators, really the term navigation, right? They are navigating the patient's care from the time they walk through the door until the time they leave. And then they don't stop there. They do the follow-ups afterwards. So it gives our patients the ability to have the one person that they go to and have a full understanding of what's going to happen during the course of their care. We have an advanced certification from the Joint Commission on our joints, and we have we're getting an advanced, I can't speak, I'm so very sorry. We have an advanced certification for our spine program as well. And I truly think the navigation program really helps achieve those certifications. Patients love it. Right?
Sure.
They don't have to dial a phone tree and try to figure out, who to call and what to do. They have one person who truly walks them through their entire stay.
And that really separates you from everybody else. I mean, because it's like, you care.
Yeah.
You care.
You really do get the sense that every single person cares. So I read all of the patient comments. Every single one. And I cannot begin to tell you, almost every single comment is your staff loves what they do. They are always smiling and they truly are compassionate and they care. I mean, it resonates throughout the entire facility.
And that stands out because not everybody does that.
No, and it doesn't. And again, I do believe it all comes down to culture, right? We have to have the employees who believe in our mission and they believe in our vision, right? And they're alongside us doing that. And I always say, especially when it comes to employees, if your worst day at our hospital is better than your best day at another hospital, you found the right home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. So I know you talked about the partnerships and the community organizations that you're a part of. What about any rehab providers, that you're a part of to help patients, recover successfully after their procedures?
Sure. So we actually are partners with a lot of rehab partners. And, I don't want to specifically name one or two. We actually give the patient the choice, right? They have a choice in the care that they receive. And a lot of our physicians actually have, their facilities that they encourage their patients to go to. But again, at the end of the day, the patients get to choose where they feel comfortable and where they would like to go to recover. I will say a lot nowadays, a lot of patients are going straight home and they're not having to go to a rehab. They may have to go home and maybe have some outpatient therapy. They may have to go home and have some in-house therapy, but a lot of the patients are recovered enough to go home and just be successful on their own.
So, of course, no healthcare journey is without its challenges.
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
And I'd like to talk about some of the hurdles that you face as a hospital leader. and how you're turning those challenges into opportunities. What are some of the biggest challenges facing hospitals like yours today, and how are you addressing them?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of healthcare challenges, right? I would say our biggest challenge right now has nothing to do with patients and outcomes or innovation. It really has to do with our payers, right? It's getting harder and harder to get our payers to offer authorizations for a patient to come in. And so, what we've started having to do is just maybe if a patient has a higher comorbidity and they need to have an inpatient stay, instead of fighting the insurance companies to get that inpatient authorization, we're just bringing them in as an outpatient. Okay. And then if there's a true need after that patient's surgical delivery, then we will fight to get that patient in as an inpatient and get that case covered. And that's what we end up having to do. But, on top of that, there's a lot of other challenges too when it comes to outgrowing, right, where you currently are. And so we just have to learn to be more efficient, right? So efficiency really truly is key. And we constantly look at our utilization. Right. And we look at, our strategies when it comes to utilization, our growth plan, and how can we overcome some of the challenges. And then we have some of the really, I say they're simple challenges, but they're not. Again, we've been in this building for 25 years and we struggle with parking, right? As silly as that sounds, that's important, right? That's important for a patient to be able to come and park. So we're having to look at how, we can rearrange our parking lot to accommodate our patients.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it really is, especially if you're coming in from an orthopedic standpoint, right? And you can't walk very far. So we want to make sure that that patient is comforted and taken care of, again, before they even walk through our doors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, healthcare is always changing. How do you and your team adapt to those changes?
Again, we pivot. We just adapt, right? I always, again, talk about we just can't be black or white, right? And so we just have to come to the table and we have to collaborate, right? It's not me telling everyone what they need to do. It's me saying, hey, guys, let's come together, right? This is our goal. This is what we need to do. What are your thoughts? What are your suggestions? And that's with our employees, that's with our doctors, and really taking that input and that feedback and really coming up with, a process or an idea that's going to overcome that challenge.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to swing with the pendulum.
Absolutely. You absolutely do. Again, going back to kind of the payers, healthcare is changing. It's going more to an outpatient arena, right? And that's okay, right? There's a lot of patients who are healthier now than what they used to be. And if they can go home and recover quicker and better, that's great. So we just need to change how we are delivering the care to accommodate them.
Sure. So how do you balance maintaining high quality care with the financial pressures that every healthcare institution faces?
Again, I think I said this earlier, right? The focus isn't just on the finances. The core and foundation of everything we do is high quality patient care. And I do believe when that is your focus and that is what you live by, the finances just fall into place. Now, that does not mean we don't look at our finances, right? We look at those every single day and we try to figure out, okay, what can we do this way? And again, another example is that outpatient to inpatient. That inpatient to outpatient flip. So now we have to look, okay, our case costs accommodating that flip, right? So we look at our case costs, our patient selection, is that accommodating that flip? So there's several things that we do. But again, the focus, the culture, everything is because of that high quality patient safety aspect.
Okay. All right. So as we wrap up the challenges side, I'd love to zoom out a little bit and talk about leadership and mindset, because the way you lead has a direct impact on how your hospital grows. As a leader, how do you cultivate a growth mindset among your team and your physicians?
Again, it's just creating that vision. When I first got to the hospital, I've been there now 8.5 years. when I first got to the hospital, everyone was just very comfortable, right?
Yeah.
They've done what they've done forever, and that's okay, right? Yeah. But as we've talked about, you do have to have that growth mindset.
Yeah.
And so it was trying to get people to see that while the status quo is comfortable, it's not okay. I don't think we'd be here now if we did not build that growth mindset within our employees and our physicians, right? And so just getting them to understand that, we can do bigger cases. We can do additional service lines, right? And then understanding what the resistance was.
Right.
You know, a lot of it was truly fear.
Yeah.
It was a fear of the unknown. It was a fear of stepping outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then just understanding where that fear came from.
Right.
Did they have the education? Did they have the resources?
Yeah.
What were those things they needed to feel comfortable doing that? Absolutely. And then giving that to them, right?
Yes.
It's not just asking what they need, it's then giving that to them. And then
it's like facing that fear.
Absolutely.
Let's fix it.
Absolutely. And then after that, you know, again, we just grew and then grew really fast. We added cardiac, right? We're a spine and orthopedic hospital. And in the last 2 years, we've added EP studies, and we have a cardiologist that comes on board. And let me tell you, that was really, really scary for the team. But we hired the right people who had that experience, and now they're training our other team, and people are loving it.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Awesome. All right. So what advice would you give other healthcare leaders who want to scale their impact without losing sight of patient care?
Again, I would say take a risk. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Try something different. Don't just stay in your comfort zone.
Oh, that's great advice. I love that. I'm going to take it myself. All right. So this has been an insightful conversation. All right. So Angie, before we wrap up, I want to make sure that listeners know how they can connect and learn more about South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital. What's the best way for them to reach you?
Absolutely. So they can go to southtexassurgical.com or they can call 210-404-0800. There's always someone that can help. They can go to our website. They can put in a web query. Someone always responds. I actually am one of the ones that respond all the time to those web queries.
Okay.
So they can go find out all about us. They can see which doctors operate our hospital, what our service lines are. They can see all of our awards. And just
I love that.
Lots of information on the website.
All right. And the website, one more time, just in case I didn't catch it.
Absolutely. southtexassurgical.com. And then, of course, we're on all the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. Angie, thank you again.
No, thank you, Nina.
Me today.
I appreciate it.
A total pleasure hearing your perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's been inspiring. It's been inspiring to hear how South Texas Spine and Surgical Hospital continues to innovate while keeping patient care at the heart of everything. In this episode, we touched on the hospital's growth strategy, the importance of leadership in healthcare, and how Angie and her team are shaping the future of specialty care in San Antonio. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Growth Mode podcast. Your support helps us reach more listeners and continue sharing valuable growth insights with business leaders and innovators. And if your business is looking to get found and get heard, I'd love to help you grow. For just $3,100 a month, we'll launch a full organic SEO campaign to help you rise to the top of search results. And plus, for a limited time, we'll invest in you with a free radio ad schedule valued at $5,000 over 6 months. Building long-term digital visibility and immediate brand awareness together, designed specifically for your goals. You can reach me at growthmode@salemsurround.com, or you can call me at 210-526-3626. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and of course, keep growing.
Thanks for listening to the Growth Mode podcast with Nina Labbe. Stay connected, keep learning, and keep growing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time on Growth Mode.
Looking to grow your business and get noticed online? Nina Labbe, host of the Growth Mode podcast and media strategist with Salem Surround, is offering a full organic SEO campaign for just $3,100 a month. Plus, for businesses located in San Antonio, Houston, or Little Rock, Nina is matching that investment with a radio ad schedule valued at $3,100 a month for the first 3 months to help kickstart your campaign and amplify your reach. It's a limited time offer, so if your business is ready to get found and grow, reach out today to get started. Email growthmode@salemsurround.com.